All right, we are running live right now. Yippee, yippee, yay! uh, it is what it always is, something different each and every time, but it's the nature of broadcasting online. When you have a lot of people broadcasting, it causes a traffic jam in our server. So we're going to get started, excuse me, with today's show, and we're going to hit it. I still got the sniffles for some reason. All day I didn't cough until now. So hang on a minute as I pour up some more water here for myself. It is what it is. And I guess we're experiencing like a spring weather in the midst of winter time. I've been battling, but I'm actually detoxing. So we are now up. I wish I could dial it down a few notches. I did a phone reading earlier today, and I it was very powerful because when I did the consultation, my friend Layla, Sister Layla, I was seeking to copy it, record it live on my digital recorder on my Olympus, and I set it up to go, and it refused to record. In fact, the file flipped back to the one I was doing last night. Then I pressed it, turned it off, cut it back on, had it open to the right folder in the right file, and all I got was the last 6 seconds. So the energy was really high today, and it's just getting higher. It's all about these different realms and different dimensions that are going on. So we're going to open up a chat room here, and then I'm going to just jump into the show. We're going to continue off where I was yesterday on my Blog Talk Radio show, talking about the key to life is numerology. And after, excuse me, after this opening prayer, we're just going to get started through divine power and by divine grace. May all of you who are tuning into today's show, may you be blessed by the contents that you hear and receive. May the spirit within you, the Holy Spirit within you, the Goddess and God energy inside of you, may it bring forth a holy light all into itself. May it bring forth further greatness all into itself, and may it give you all that you desire to have and receive at this moment. Amen, and so shall it be. And what we're going to do as well, I need to go back to Facebook and just announce that the show is up and live. So, okay. This is proof that I need a helping hand. I'm going to put in here that I'm loving my challenges and healing my path. Okay. Now, we're going to use numerology today. So I'm going to put this in here so people can get on board and get this information. And this is what it is. I used to be able years ago I used to be able to have all the pages set up differently, and when I did that through the Ustream broadcaster, I used to be able to see every page. I mean, not only the page that I'm broadcasting from in my virtual studio, but also what you, the viewer, sees. And it was great because I could see all the underlying themes running around in the broadcast section and across the page at the same time. So that was very unique, and all my paperwork is just flying all over the place, so that just means I don't need it. Now, if you're gonna open up this show and we're going to move forward. Now, as I'm coming on here, we're going to talk about numerology today, and we're going to talk about what it means to be flowing through your numbers, your personal numbers, while the universal year vibration is in effect. So, this is our shout out for today's program. And let me just put this in here. This is so that you can see it. Now, I'll try to come in and type in the notes briefly. That's what I really wanted to do. We're in this one vibration of 2017. Now, I know that, we're all going to have our own systems. Everybody has their own approach. In other words, when you're working with the numbers, you're going to have your own systematic way of connecting and bringing forth the information. So there's no right way and there's no wrong way. It's a matter of preference. What works best for you is the way you should work with the numbers. Now, I myself, I don't abbreviate too many of the numbers like I used to. I leave every number intact because it helps you to explain and describe sensations and things. But we should know that in itself, numerology is more of a what we call a quote unquote metaphysical kind of science practice because we're using numbers to describe situations beyond our physical world. And yes, at the same time, we are kind of measuring a part of our experience, being it expressed through numbers. So, one of the things, excuse me here, one of the things that you want to realize when you're dealing with numbers, you have a wide variety, a wide spectrum of numbers and vibrations, whole numbers. For those who are well advanced in their stages and studies of mathematics, who have gotten past the algebra stage and the geometry stage, and you're out there doing calculus. Not everybody can do calculus and beyond that, but it has been on some level experienced and proven by those who are mathematical whizzes that math trains you to become more intuitive because you're looking at the numbers in themselves are symbols, and then there are those are universal, and then there are universal letters such as the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and all of that going up in the alphabet, but you're not using capital letters, you're using lowercase letters to represent another set of numbers. You have fractional numbers. That's when you put the decimal point there, and any number to the right of that is going into the fractional parts of numbers. So we can see that numbers can be used in many ways. And even just as whole numbers, we find ourselves practicing and recording our experiences that we are having. And one of the ways that we are doing that is that we are having this experience with numbers in a different way. And so, as we begin to have our experiences, we begin to move forward. And as we move forward, we experience a greater awareness. Now, I'm multitasking here. I've got a lot of people who are students of the woman that I was doing my spiritual consultation for this morning. So I want to make sure that they and as soon as I get this out there, excuse me for taking this moment, but numbers are helping us in different ways. So there's so many qualifications, so many avenues of expression that it is allowing us to be in a way where we are seeing ourselves evolve. And numbers have their meaning, and through their meaning, we evolve in a way that gives us a sense of greater wholeness and remembrance for ourselves. So, one of the things we want to do is be in reception of that. So, it's a great thing to be able to walk this energy out, as I call it. And as we walk this energy out, we move with greater awareness for ourselves. And so as we walk this energy forward, we are also being blessed in other ways. Okay, so I'm back now. I got all these people connecting with me. One of the things we want to look at today is, again, the universal year number. And as I was saying, the universal year number being a one vibration, meaning 20 plus 17 is 37, and then 37 is 3 plus 7, giving us 10, and then 1 plus 0, giving us 1. So here's the unique thing you might want to pay attention to, is that you can reduce any digit you want down to one number. Again, it's a matter of preference. There are compound numbers. Now, compound numbers, most of the time, we're looking at someone's calendar date that they're born on. So it's universal from 1 to 31. There's a meaning there for all of these numbers, 1 to 31. Likewise, there are meanings for numbers in the 4-digit year. And as I expressed before in one of my shows, the reason why I don't reduce the 4-digit year right away, I don't collapse it right down to 1 or 2 or 3, whatever it's going to add up to, is because the compound number, which means the two numbers to the left inside of that 4-digit number, is a constant value. It has a constant value, which means it has a constant influence. Think of that number sort of like you hear a band playing, and the bass drum player is boom, 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 giving you this constant rhythm. And that constant rhythm is what the entire band, marching band, is what? Moving to. Is that constant rhythm. So, the other two digits to the right are the individual type vibrations, we could say. But it's a set of compound number, is a compound number right there. And then two digits, or actually uh, three digits in that number. Whereas the compound number to the left of the 4-digit numbers has numbers embedded there as well. For instance, someone born in the 1800s is going to have the compound number underneath that 18. They're going to have a 10. Okay, they're going to have the 10, then they're going to have the 1, then they're going to have the 8. And at the same time, this is what they got, the 10, then they have the 18 itself. That has a whole another meaning. Then they have the 1, then they have the 8, and then what the 1 and the 8 adds to is a 9. So there's 5 vibrations in that number. So now, in this sense, in 2017, because that's what you're saying, you don't say 217, right? You don't say 28, 20 as in 20 and then 8. You say 2017. We're in the year 2017. So this is what you have to address. The 20. And then you've got 2 plus 0 is going to give you a 2. You got the 0 there as well. That has a meaning in there. Okay? Then on the other side of that line, to the right, you got the number 17. And the 17 has its compound number in there, which is a 10. And then the 17 has a 1 and a 7. And 1 plus 7 is an 8. That's a lot of numbers. That's every number, every compound number that you're going to look at has it pretty close to 5 numbers going on in there. 5 numbers. It's just not sitting there bouncing around like you think it's doing. But again, this is just a matter of preference. I'm seeing something there that perhaps you're not seeing that I'm supposed to see. And that's the way that I'm being aware of these numbers. So when we're being aware of these numbers, we're realizing that there are different things going on. The numbers are hinting at different influences happening for us. Different, we might call it wavelength or vibrations or frequencies that are going on. So think of the number as pointing to a frequency that is going on. And it's a way for you to measure the frequency in a metaphysical way. Now, people may say, this is not scientifically proven. I'm going to say, who cares? When you're studying metaphysical things, meta means beyond, and then you're talking about physical. Metaphysical is going beyond this. And all day long, from the time you were born, coming out of your mother's womb, you're beyond this. And taking you right back to the sperm and the egg, you are beyond this. That's a metaphysical experience all unto itself. And each one of us that are here have gone through it. And we're constantly going through these stages. So we're using the language of numerology to represent our experiences beyond the physical, as well as in the physical. Then you've got the 4 elements, the fire energy elements, the air energy elements, you have the water energy elements, you have the earth energy elements. And these numbers are sharing that. If you're working right now with the 12 signs and you have 10 numbers per sign, or actually you have 31 numbers, averaging 30 to 31 numbers inside of these totality of the 12 signs. So you would have to basically multiply 12 times 31 or 12 times 30. 12 times 30 would give you 360. And those extra months that may have 1 month, like has one date shy and one extra date. That's the month of February, and they use that leap year thing in there. Every 4 years, February gets an additional day. If you could calculate all of that, you would come up with some very interesting numerological analyses. The whole idea, though, in numerology is to make it simple so that we could follow it, to make it very simple. So what are the ways in which we're going to make this simple? Because you got master numbers in there too. And people who are born, let's say, in a year where the two digits to the right are exactly the same, they have master numbers there. Now, again, it's a matter of preference. Some people will say, okay, I'll get rid of that constant value of 20 or 19 and I'll just look at the 11. So I'm going to see 1, 11, 11. If that's what you want to do, so be it. Then you would have a 5 universal day. But in the book of wisdom that I'm using, for me, it would be a 6 universal day or universal year, because however I'm going to interpret it, you see. So I'm looking at a whole lot of numbers there. Now, that's if the year is 1911. The year is 2011, then I'm going to see the whole year adding up to 31. Then I'm going to see 111, like today's the 12th, so I'm going to see 1, 12, 31. So 1 and 12 is 13, and 31 is what? If my calculations are right, now that would be interesting because you're going to get a 44. Now you got a master number in there. You got one that's really sitting there behind the scenes that's going to give you some information. And everybody's experience that they have is basically their experience when they see the numbers. Some people say when you see all fours, this is awakening of your divinity and your divine consciousness, and how you're awakening and you're like on track. But you're on track anyway because you're seeing numbers. You're dealing with numbers all the time. You've been computing numbers all the time. Every time you say your age, every time you write your social security number out, you're setting up a vibration, writing those numbers out, and you have committed it to memory. Your license plates for your vehicles, motorcycles, cars, SUVs, Hummers, numbers. Size of the tires, numbers. Size of the weight of the tires when it gets filled up with air, numbers. Some of them got, you go to placing the air in, and there's a certain weight figure you have to pump in. It's a certain pressure. It's what, so many pounds per pressure. And some vehicles take 33, some take a 35, some take maybe 37. And you can imagine what a big tractor trailer is taking in on each and every wheel for those big wheels to support tons, not just the truck itself, but the contents in the rest of it. Numbers. The clothes that we wear by size, numbers. Certain amount of cord, that you need so that you're not tied to your laptop or your computer. Computed in inches. Somewhere down the line, we accepted. We've gone from miles to kilometers, right? Then you have to learn how to compute all of that. Numbers. We're dealing with numbers all the time. Angles. And angles are like the angels of math. They carry certain degrees. And the word degree, one of the meanings for degree is an increment of light. Increment of light. That's one of the meanings to the word degree. Degree. Don't want to get too far off. I just was saying when people go get a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a doctor of philosophy degree, a doctorate, they got just a certain increment of knowledge that they comprehend and understand, just designed to make them think. So, let's jump into this now. 2017. 2017, and those numbers produce a 37, which gives you another compound root digit of 30. 37 is 3 plus 7, which is 10. That gives you another compound number. So you've got the compound number of 30, 20, and 10. 20 is the number that deals with transformation, regeneration, rebirth, renewal, seeing things differently, seeing things beyond the physical, busting out of the cinder blocks of what is called the norm. You see a 20 in there is about becoming a trailblazer, a pioneer, willing to step beyond your limitations. That's what this entire millennium. If those of you heard the Blog Talk Radio yesterday program, there's some other information about that. Then the two, the nature of the two is what? Partnership. How we align and attune ourselves to people in our lives, parents, grandparents, other relatives, cousins, your siblings, people in your life like your neighbors, your peers, your teachers, your co-workers, your employers, or if you own your own business, your employees, your business partner, your mate. Then there's the earth. Then there's everything comprised in the earth. The geo vibration. You're connected to that. The universe beyond. The two is talking about all of that. How you align yourself with your own divinity in partnership. We use the past 10 years talking about co-creation, co-creator. Now we're coming to the understanding that it's all one and the same. Then you have the 37 that produced the compound number 30. Excuse me, that's a number of reflection. When you reflect on something, you go within and you begin to contemplate. Bring your temple plates together and think. Con is with temple plates. Bringing them together. Thinking. And scientists say when we think, the brain creates more folds. More things going on inside the brain. And that pineal gland is emitting energy, and the pituitary gland is emitting energy. And all of your chakras, meridians, are emitting energy. A lot of things going on. a lot of things happening with these numbers. Again, it's not just physical, it's beyond the physical. So when you look at numbers now, you're looking at numbers taking in a completely different approach. Completely different approach. So that you can make the language your own. So we had a lot of things going on. A lot of things that are happening. Here are the compound numbers just for people coming in here later. And this is in the year 2017. Are 20, 30, and 10. There's a lot going on right there. And then there's a lot going on with 2, 1, 2, 1, 0. I'll put a dot there, actually put a comma there. I'll just put a space. The 2, the 0, the 1, and the 7. And the 8. There's a whole lot of stuff going on right there. The 2, the 0, the 1, and the 7, and the 8. So, I told you about the 20. The 17 carries with it sort of like the 20. It's like an Aquarian vibration. It's ahead of its time. 17 means that you're going to be known by an awful lot of people this year. A lot of people are going to get to know who you are. And I would think that if you're born on the 17th of any month, more people are going to get to know who you are. More. You're going to become a celebrity in your own way. Maybe your neighbor finally sits down and has a full conversation with you. Maybe you have a full conversation with your in-laws, with your siblings, your peers. People who you normally don't talk to, you're going to have a wholesome conversation with. You're going to remember something about them, and they're going to remember something about you. 17 is a generation of personalities that just keep coming. Within that 17 is the compound number 10. 10 talks about 4 distinctive things, which can be broken down in many different ways. One of the things that the 10 speaks of are the 4 elements: earth energy, fire energy, water energy, and water energy and air energy. When you look at the zodiac astrological wheel that we've been working with for a long time, the first earth element is a fixed energy. That earth element is Taurus, the bull. Opposite Taurus is another fixed energy, but it's in water, and it's Scorpio. After, between Scorpio and, which is water, fixed water, and Taurus, the fixed earth, is another fixed sign, which is a fire energy called Leo. And opposite Leo is a fixed air sign called Aquarius. That's what the 10 is shouting out to us. 4 fixed elements, and within it they have their opposites. And what's unique about them is that the Taurus vibration represents your natural abilities. Sometimes we call them gifts. What we're born with. You come onto the planet, you got some things that you can do naturally. And some of us say in the psychic world when we call it a gift, is something that you developed from other past lives, and you brought it with your soul into this lifetime. Then the Leo fire energy speaks of priorities. So when you're looking at these gifts, these talents, you're going to have to figure out which one is more important than the others. So there's a pecking order with your talents. So this is talking about preparing yourself, because that's what's going on. You're preparing yourself to understand who you are at another level. So you got all of this fire energy, and Leo also represents the fire of magnetism. The fire of magnetism. The natural interplay of nature and you. You're not separate from nature, and nature's not separate from you. And what is nature? Na is Latin for forever being born. It's a continuous cycle. You've got this energy inside of you that's constantly going on at various levels. And then you go to the fixed water sign, which is Scorpio. And Scorpio says now we take all of these important talents and quote unquote gifts, natural abilities, and we turn them into a skill. That means, now you're working on it to the level of mastery, self mastery. When you're working on yourself to the level of self mastery, isn't that a continuous process? There's days when you don't feel good. There's days when you're emotionally upset. There's days when you have a bit of mental instability. There are days when your physical body is out of whack. It's not balanced as it should be. This is your journey to master yourself. And when you can master yourself, you've walked 180 degrees to the other side. Now you're going to walk into another fixed sign, traveling another 90 degrees. Or maybe 120. I don't want to get too technical. I'm not an astrologer here. So we're just going to stick in the frame that I'm in, the lane that I'm in. What are you looking for when you're in Aquarius? Aquarius symbolizes, in essence, humanity. The brotherhood, the sisterhood of humanity, the family. If you can master yourself, you can help others do the same. Who are you serving with your skills? Who are you helping? Who are you teaching? Who are you sheltering with your skills? Who's benefiting from your skills? That's what's happening here with that compound number 10. Now, you've got the 2, which is a partnership energy. You have the 1, which is an individual expression unto itself. Can't be separated even in self. Then you have 7, which is the feeling of being like a loner. The nature of 7, though, is to overcome loneliness and to step into being all oneness. That's where you think of a loner. A loner is one who is self-sufficient to some degree. Doesn't have to pull on people, can pull on oneself. Knows oneself well enough and can somehow fit into the environment that they are entering. or they find themselves in, and do what? Survive. 7 gets in touch with the spiritual essence, the spiritual nature of oneself. 7 is an old soul kind of number. And in numerology, there's the trilogy, as I call the old soul. Those are numbers which add to 4, 7, and 8. Numbers that add to 4, 7, and 8. This is the old soul trilogy. What's so symbolic of it is the last 3 signs in the zodiac, in the astrological wheel, the last 3 sun signs. One represents 4, that's Aquarius. One represents 7, that's Pisces. The other represents 8, that's Capricorn. 4 is Uranus, 7 is Neptune, 8 is Saturn. Big, slow-moving planets. Anybody born in those signs, they got a lot of information. They just have to harness it, study themselves, and begin to harness this information. So there's a lot in here for 2017, right? A whole lot of information that you're absorbing. 2017. Now you can add it up to a single digit. 20 plus 17 is 37. Or some people will go 20 is 2 plus 17 is 19. 1 plus 0 is 10. It has 19. 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. Some people add it the other way. They go from right to left. 1 plus 7 is 8 to the 20. That's 28. I'm going to give you an interpretation for that, and then I'm going to jump right into the individual numbers, 1 to 9. Here it goes. If you chose to add those numbers like this, 1 plus 7 is 8, then 8 plus 20 is 28. The number 28 means for you to develop some level of trust and faith in yourself first. Trust and faith go hand in hand. You have to develop that in yourself, within your heart. Then you got to be able to find it with other people. You got to trust in humanity. Can you have faith in humanity? You can't have faith or trust in humanity till you have that developed at a high level in yourself. If you choose to go the other way, excuse me, reducing the 20 to a 2, adding that to 17, and you get the number 19. The 19 is like a sun vibration, but the 19 also means the truth. There's a phrase for it we used to have in numerology and tarot classes. Give me the bare naked truth. Stark naked truth. No covers on it at all. Just give it to me plain. The vibration of the 19. 19 is a carefree spirit. Someone who's free in their environment. Free to do as they please. But the best thing is to show their light, show their truth. So here you have it. 19 is to show your truth without covering it up, without hiding it. But yet, 28 says you must trust and have faith. There's a lot in there. Now you add the 20 to the 17 and you get 37. 37 is a number of power. The power comes from the compound number 30, which you reflect deeply on the issues in your life. You reflect deeply on yourself. You reflect deeply on the people you're connected to. And the 7 means you're willing to look at the spiritual side of them first. You're looking at the spiritual side first. That's what you're reflecting on. But the 30 is interesting. You don't stay in that state of meditation all day long. You have to come out and show your spirituality, your seven vibration. Show your wisdom, show your understanding, show your compassion and peace. Show your state of divinity. Now we add together, you get the number 10. I just expressed what the 10 was. In the tarot, the 10th major arcana card is called the Wheel of Fortune. That's where that information comes from. The Taurus, the Leo, the Scorpio, and the Aquarius nature influenced in there. And it represents Jupiter, a way to expand. 20 is Pluto, another way to expand. 19 is the sun, heating up things. 1 is also the sun. 2 is the moon. 7 is Neptune. 8 is Capricorn. So 37 produces 10, which is now 1. The universal vibration to 1 is for you to become more of an independent thinker, organize your life properly for yourself, be able to self-direct, lead yourself, carry yourself in such a manner that you are proud of who you are. Yet, you're not functioning with a huge ego. You're not boastful. You just know yourself. You found yourself in that universal year 1. It's about being a leader, but leading yourself first. Some people say if I would call it, let's say, Christian spirituality, for lack of a better word right now, they would say, first learn to be a servant. Be a master server. Servant, a master server. Serving the people around you. And then from that you grow into leadership. Because as a leader, you understand how to serve. You understand the needs of people, their desires, their wants. You realize that everybody has their shortcomings. Everybody has their faults. So is when you're being a leader, it's not about choking somebody and you want to be this tyrannical personality. No, it's about uplifting. A true leader uplifts. A true leader finds the light inside of another person that's probably like this. And you're going to help that person make that light like this. Go from here to here. You're going to help the person become more courageous in their own life so they can lead themselves, be their own boss. That's a brief synopsis of what the one universal year vibration is about. The flip side of that is not allowing yourself to become this mean-spirited person with a big ego in this one universal year. You don't want to become that person. Why? Because if you become that individual, eventually what happens is your kingdom, queendom just falls apart. Nobody listens to you because they can see that you're not doing what you should be doing for yourself, or they can see how you're mistreating others around you. So those who are working with you, they eventually break away from you and leave you truly by yourself. And we know every good leader needs a team. One of the best running backs in football will always tell you, I didn't make all them yards by myself. Yeah, I've got some moves. Yes, some razzle-dazzle in my footstep. If the defense overpowers the line, I'm strong enough in my legs that I can move myself beyond the scrimmage line. But a good running back, why waste the blocks? Use them. The front line is creating openings. Use them. Why? Because then your linemen, they know they're doing their job because they felt you behind them when you opened up the line. They feel great because you moved on through. It's the same when you're in this one universal year. You're not just out there by yourself. You have a team. You got a village. You got a tribe to work with. You have a family. So now, how do you find how do you find your one personal year? How do you do that? All you have to do is take the month that you're born in. Now, the way we do it in numerology is January is the first month, February is the second month, March is the third month. Now, the last 3 months, 10, 11, and 12, you could break them down to 1, 2, and 3, but you want to leave them as the whole numbers, okay? Don't break them down yet. So if you're born in that 10th month, which is really an 8th month, October, November is a ninth, and Dec is 10, December. But in this system of numerology, October is the 10th month, and then you've got November is the 11th month, and December is the 12th month. So you leave those numbers as they are. So that means what? That April is the 4th month, May is the 5th month, June is the 6th month, July is the 7th, August is the 8th, and September, which means 7, is the ninth numbered month. You take those numbers. Now, what you have to do is you need to add vertically. So, hopefully, I'm going to show you that right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a vertical line, and then I'm going to put a horizontal line as close as I can to the bottom without connecting it. So it should look something like that. Okay? If you got a piece of paper, do that. Now you don't have to make it that big. I just made it that big so you can see it. Now what you're going to have is, I'm going to put a like this. Okay? Now where I have those BM is going to be the number that I'm going to put on the top line going across that will represent my birth month number. The BD will be the calendar date, birth date. The CYR is the current year. So, I'm going to put the current year so you know what I just did earlier. You see, because I broke it all down like this, you see. You see 2017. I broke down that 2017 for you. I gave you some semblance of what it was connecting, what it was meaning. So let's just pick somebody like, we're going to pick an individual here off the top of my head just as a sample. Now, I'm going to pick someone born in the third month, which is March, and then I'm going to pick it so that the person was born on the 17th. So, you want to make sure it's vertically in line. See, the 3 is on the right side of the vertical line over the 7, which is then over the other 7. Okay, now to correct that a little bit, the 17 numbers should be over each other. So let me just kind of scratch it out. I'm moving really fast here. So I'll write it this way. And it should come out like this. Just to make the correction. We go this way. Hopefully you can now see that. So 3 over 17 over 17. 20 is on the side by itself. Now all you have to do, if you knew someone born of this, like this, you're going to add the digits together. 3 plus 7 is a 10, plus 7 is a 17. You're going to put the 7 down just like natural addition. You're going to carry the 1 over the 2 ones that you see. So now you have 3 ones, it'll be 37, and a 20 will come down. And you're going to come up like this. So 3 over 17 over 17, which is 2017. The answer is 2037. I'm going to put a V shape there, a line with a V shape. You don't have to do this, but this is the way I kind of do it. Just like that. Let me make sure I got it in the picture. See that line with a V? That means I'm adding the two compound numbers together. 20 plus 37 gives me a 57. Do it again. 5 plus 7 is a 12. Do it again. Gets down to 3. So that means someone born on 3/17/2017, or someone born, a baby born 3/17/2017. That 3 down there, that would be their life path, or what is called a destiny number. But for someone who's going to have a birthday this year on March the 17th, 2017, that 3 will represent for them their personal year number. That 3 becomes the person's personal year number in this year. Now we're in January, right? Now some people would say, let's give it to them now, so that they're already flowing with this, right? They're already flowing with this number. Let me hold it a little higher. They're already flowing with this number. But what's happening is not yet. Why? Because the person experienced their birthday the year before. So this 3 personal year would not be in effect yet until their birthday, 3/17/2017. That means all you got to do is subtract 1, and you'll realize that they are in a 2 personal year from 3/17/2016 to 3/16/2017. This person is really in a 2 personal year. From last year's birthday, 3/17/2016, to 3/16/2017, the person is in a 2 personal year. That 3 personal year is not going to start until the birthday this year. So now you know how to get the number. Let's give you some meanings. Now I've kind of hinted at some things already, some single digit action. So if your number from last year is a 1, or this year, according to this month, somewhere in this month, your digits brought you into a 1 personal year. If your number happens to be a 1 personal year, for you, like I say, it's all about being more independent in your thinking. Maybe thinking about starting a business, a new career, thinking about doing some new things with your business. Maybe you started your business 2 years ago under the 8 vibration. So now you ought to see something happening with it. You ought to see it become more solidified while you're in this 1 personal year. If you started a business or a project 2 years ago, you'll see it starting to, pick up speed. Also, some of the things that could happen when you're in a 1 personal year is you might attract Leo to you, which is the 1 vibration. You might attract a 4, which is Aquarius. You may attract a 2, which is Cancerian. You may attract a 7 personality, which is Leo. Which is the Pisces quality. You may kind of bring those people, may pop up in your life to give you some help if you're in a 1 personal year. Now, again, don't act like a tyrant in the 1 personal year. Be the boss of your life, but not bossy to other people. Don't be this oppressive personality, or you're going to lose your team. You're going to lose your village of people. You're going to lose your tribe. What about if you're in a 2 personal year? Well, if you're in a 2 personal year, it's all about peace. Maintaining peace, harmony, and happiness. Maintaining, maybe during the 2 personal year, you get a better understanding of the relationship of your divinity within you, or you get a better understanding of a relationship between you and your spouse, you and your children, you and your parents, your grandparents, your uncles, cousins, neighbors, co-workers, employees, you name it. You're learning how to balance the scale out. 2 is the mediator of peace. But 2 means to pay attention to details and avoid being cold-hearted, you know, not having any feelings. Sometimes in the 2 vibration, you may want to act like a 7 and slide off into the wings by yourself. But 2 is skillful at working with other people. So even if the 2 vibration is suggesting sometimes you want to separate yourself, you don't want to do that. You want to stay right in the mix. But you need to be calm. Pay attention to details. 2 is a diplomatic kind of number. Now comes the 3 quality. What is the 3 quality? The 3 quality is being able to be self motivated. In order to be self motivated, you've got to have discipline. So you're going to discipline yourself. You're going to set up a program for yourself to follow so that you can motivate yourself to be more successful in your own life. Then what happens is that you have this other quality that you are capable of working with. And that quality that quality is allowing you to move forward. And so as you move forward, you are allowing yourself greater expression. So you're becoming more creative in the 3 personal year. Disciplining yourself, becoming more self motivated, becoming more creative with the written or the spoken word. Also, into that 3 personal year is you happen to be a little bit more conscious that you have principles that you are your guidelines. You have principles that you live by. So in the 3 personal year is about setting up some principles and living by them. This is what happens when you have self-discovery in a 1 personal year, linking up to partnership vibrations to create better balance and harmony and peace under the 2. Then the 3 vibration is realizing, okay, I need some discipline here. I need greater order. So now when you step into the 4 personal year, the 4 personal year distinctively is order. Order over chaos, not chaos over order. So, we sometimes say in numerology, in a spiritual sense, 4 is divine order. Nature is always in order. Humanity must get itself in alignment to it so it can go in the flow of it. So you've got man-made order and then you got divine order. You're trying to find a way to bring them both together. Both can be as perfect as they need to be. 4 is building up a foundation so that everything you build upon that stays in order, stays in alignment, stays in attunement, so you can build on it. Now, the only thing about the 4, during the 4 personal year, is sometimes you might have some abrupt changes thrown in there. And you gotta, like, okay, immediate change, what do you do? Well, of course, you gotta gather your thoughts together. You gotta gather your team. Your team is your thoughts and your family members, and you come up with a plan. Now, here's a 5. When you're in that 4 personal year, you may also attract Leos. 4 gives you Aquarius, and the 1s, the Leos, the 2s, the Cancerians, the 7, the Pisces. Where under the 3 quality, which is sort of like a Jupiter effect, you would attract more like a Sagittarian, maybe with a little bit of Pisces action in there. Then you have the 5. 5 is the ability to adapt to anything. If you look at the numbers 1 through 9, just the single digits, 5 is right in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. 4 numbers above, 4 numbers underneath, or to the left or to the right, however you choose to write it. 5's in the middle. But 5 is a reminder of speed, getting information very quickly and then disseminating that information just as quick as you get it. 5's, if you're in the area of marketing and sales and promotional work in a 5 personal year, if everything has been set up in the 4 personal year, 5 will be used to get out there and communicate the ideas even stronger. Sell the product, sell the service on a higher plateau. 5 also attracts youth like a 3 does. 3 attracts younger people, usually more children. 5 might bring you children and teenagers, younger adults if you're an older adult. 5 means everybody's looking at you. 5 means people are aware that you're doing something, so they start tuning in. And that vibration of people being aware of you, tuning into you, carries over into the 6. 5 is Mercury, 6 is Venus. And those two qualities can be fast moving activity and energy that's going on. 5, though, represents that someone likes to have their freedom. They don't like to be hemmed in. So if you're in a 5 personal year and you're a salesperson, you might want to work out in the field rather be stuck in the office. You'd rather start working to be your own boss rather than answering to the boss. If you're out there driving a vehicle, motorcycle, whatever, be careful on the road. You'll have a tendency to move extremely fast. If you're walking around your house moving, you better remember, 5 goes in the conscious memory, that you may have left a cabinet door open. Or you have a cellar, like a basement. Be careful what's on the stairs as you go into the basement. Going up the steps, sometimes you have children, hey, they just put their books there on the side, or they don't often remember to move everything, and then you got to go up and down the stairs. Be careful. 5 moves with agility, flexibility, physically and mentally. 5 is the communicator. 6 is the server. 6 is the parent kind of energy. 6 is the guardian kind of energy. 6 vibration means you might be paying more attention to your home life. Then you'll pay attention to your personal life and your home life. You're striking a balance. Then you're paying attention to outside of there, the work environment and your social life. So now you got to balance those areas: your personal life, your home family life, your work life, and your social life. You got to create balance and harmony so that all things are fulfilled, so that your obligations are taken care of. That's under the 6, and the 6 is like a Venus quality. So 6, though, loves a bit of luxury or bargains. The bargain hunter is the 6 vibration. You might know somebody born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th. They can find a bargain really, really, really fast. You might know a Taurus that finds a bargain, or a Libra that finds a bargain. Knows how to barter. Knows how to trade. 6. 6 is a very loving. To be a caretaker, that's a 6. Taking care of those you love, taking care of the things you love. Then there's 7. Now, like I said, the 7 is the loner. 7 has to fend off being by oneself too long. So 7 personal year means if you've been dealing with some pent-up emotions, if you've been feeling like depressed, which is anger turned within, you got to work on it. You got to get it out. Get to some anger management classes. Get together with a psychotherapist to try to find out what's bothering you. Excuse me. Do something that enhances your life, that changes your life for you. You want to make sure that you're going to have a healthier state of mind. So during the 7 personal year, look at your levels of self-esteem. Look at your levels of self-esteem. How do you view yourself? Do you really love yourself? Do you love what you're doing? During the 7, you're going to go through that. Now, with other people in the 7 personal year, this is what they go through. They go through how to better perfect their own lives. It's something that they know that they're doing right. They're on the right path. How can they perfect it? So, in the 7, you reflect back into yourself. You see what your lessons were. What did you learn? What did you acquire? And then you get ready to bring that forward. That's what you're doing in the 7 personal year inside of the 1 universal year. Then there's the 8, an 8 personal year. 8 personal year. 8, like 7, like 4, is reflecting on the past. Old soul kind of energy, past life kind of experiences. 8 can be eccentric, eclectic. 8, 7, and 4 are very eclectic personality years. 4, 7, and 8 personal years, you're going to do something different that no one else has ever done before. 8, though, is about mastering finances, mastering material things. 8 is about coming up with the big idea that's going to take you over into a new horizon. 8 is also looking at what already works. You got some strong foundations. The 8 is saying, pay attention to your foundation that you put up in that 4 personal year. Now how can you explore it and expand it? Use your wisdom. That's the 8. Pay attention to the experts, to the people in your field that have been successful. Then look inside for your own levels of success. Then there's the 9. The 9 is unique. I used to call the 9 this. I had a phrase for it. The number 9 is reach for the impossible. That way, you pick up all of the possibilities. In other words, nothing is impossible, because inside the word impossible is I am possible. I possess the ability to be more successful in my life. During this 9 personal year, though, it's about letting go of outdated thinking, letting go of outdated stuff that, you might have stuff in your garage. Maybe create a garage sale. You're going to have some memories, but there's some things you're going to have to let go of, because you got to make room for the new cycle of the one that's going to come up at your next birthday. So in the 9 personal year, sometimes you're going to have people in your circles that you need to release, let go of. So in the 9 personal year, be aware of pent-up emotions and anger and things that people didn't get a chance to say to you over the last 8 years. They might decide to come out and say it to you now. But you have to pay attention where you have graduated. If your self-esteem has picked up, no matter what someone tells you, you'll realize it's just a reflection of themselves. So in the 9, watch out for arguments, heated discussions. Be willing to let go. Be willing to walk away. Be willing to get ready for something new. These are the number vibrations, from 1 to 9 within the 1 universal year. So universally, you can draw on the 1. It's about self-discovery. It's about being a leader in your own life. And if you're in a 9 personal year, what are you striving to do? Cut some cords, burn some bridges, or maybe just release some people out of your life. Maybe get ready to walk in a new path. If you're in that 8 personal year during the 1 universal year, it's about being the best leader that you can be during the 8. and overcome any restrictions that you might have, any limitations in your thinking that you might have about finances. 8 is paying attention to those power figures. Maybe you're one of the authority figures in your own life. You just haven't realized it yet. 7, personal year. During the 1, self-discovery, stepping up new, 7 goes within, checks out the spiritual nature of oneself. How can I be more self-sufficient? How can I be more perfect at what I'm doing? Well, perfection never ends. That's what you realize. And you're this old soul like the 8 and the 4. 6, who do I serve? What do I love to serve? 5, how am I communicating with those in my environment? 4, have I established a foundation that's sturdy and strong that I can build upon? 3, am I self-motivated? Do I have the discipline it takes and the focus? Am I more conscientious about what I'm doing? Do I have principles? 2, do I have a strong relationship with my divine self? And then with everyone else around me, my partners, my mates, my children, my parents, and so on. 1, have I come to the realization of who I really am? All of that energy is inside of that 1 universal year. Now, you can take the 1 personal year, you can take the personal year number and just add it to each one of these calendar month numbers. And then you'll find out what the month is like. And when you're in the personal year number, take a look back. Go 9 years back, 9 years ago, and see what you were doing then. You might find that you were doing some things that were still strong for you to do, or some things that were weak. How did you get out of the bind that you were in 9 years ago? What did you do to create an opening for more success in your life 9 years ago? What did you do? These are some key hints of things that you could play with. You could definitely play with it just by adding the number 9 or subtracting the number 9. To go forward or backwards. To go forward, add 9. To go backwards, subtract 9. To find out what the personal month number is, take the personal year number that you're in right now and add it into January and see what you get. And that will give you an idea of how that will be. And if you want to look at it distinctively, the day is the 12th. Let's look at tomorrow. Everybody's excited. Friday the 13th. Tomorrow. Okay? So, if you were in, let's say in this universal year 1, let's say you were in a 2 personal year. You found out that you were in a 2 personal year. You add the 2 to January, which gets the first month in this calendar system. So 2 plus 1 is 3. So January became what? A 3 personal month. Discipline, focus, expressing yourself, motivating yourself, paying attention to your principles. Now you add the 3 if you want to find out about tomorrow, which is the 13. 3 to 13 is 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. So tomorrow should be a more spiritual time for you, where today was a 6 vibration, which means how well did you take care of yourself today? See what I'm hinting at? So there's many ways for you to use the numbers to measure things going on in your life. Next week, we're going to go and explore these personal month cycles next week. Next week will be the 19th. So we're going to look at personal month numbers within your personal year vibration. And if you're with me next Wednesday on my Blog Talk Radio show, that show's only about 30 minutes or so. I have some intro music front and back, so you might say it's like more like 27 minutes worth of a show. But I'm going to review the meanings of the numbers 1 through 9 as a personal year cycle in that short show. And next Thursday, we're going to look at the personal month numbers. Thank you for being in touch and watching today's show. If you want to be in touch with me, I have two emails. One, the primary one is IAM, all lowercase, IAM, letters IAM dot circle of grace with the number one at the end at yahoo.com. My secondary email is the same, IAM dot circle of grace one at gmail.com. If you want, you can call and leave a message on my Skype number, which is 505-349-4722. That's 505-349-4722. I also have a universal meditation prayer decree line. And if you want a decree written for you for just a simple donation, if you want a decree written out for you or affirmative prayer treatment written for you, just dial 505-717-4722. 505-717-4722. And there's a 2-minute universal decree that you'll hear first. Then leave your phone number with the area code, the best time for me to reach you, your first and your last name. Now, I know some people go, I don't want to give you the last name. Don't worry, I'm not going to interpret it. It's just, I like to hear your first name and your last name. If you want to give me first, if you're comfortable with that, so be it. No big deal. All right? And I'll see you next week. My grace is your grace, or as Akhenaten says, our grace is your grace. Until next time, remember that divine grace is a blessing, as we are alive and well in the age of remembrance. Thank you for being supportive and listening to the show every Thursday. In about 30 minutes, this show that you just saw live will be uploaded into my YouTube channel, Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. It'll be there in about another 30 minutes. All shows that are done right here on Ustream, they stay in the system for about 30 days and they get automatically deleted out. So go to my YouTube channel, look up Brother Francis Revels-Bey right there, and you can listen to the show there whenever you feel like it. And if you have a YouTube account, you can make some comments. Also, if you want to give me some comments, you can just email me. I'm open to your comments with your emails. Thank you for being here, watching the show. I really enjoy your company. Most of the things that you can find me on Facebook. Look me up as my page is Circle of Grace 1. You can look me up there as Brother Francis Revels-Bey. And occasionally I'll do a live video there. Not often. It's just when the Spirit moves me to do so, I do one. I'm not consistent in that sense. I need to put a video up all the time. I have several other pages there. I have Circle of Grace 1 in the Age of Remembrance, which is more like a, quote, private group. I also have Friends Who Like Circle of Grace 1, and I have one other one there too, Friends of Circle of Grace 1. Each one of them, I put the same information in. I also have a fan page for Circle of Grace 1 that you can look up. If you look it up, you can like the page if you like. I put a lot of spiritual messages in there as well. I'm not looking for favoritism. I'm just looking to help you out. Okay? I got to go now. I enjoyed my time being with you. Thank you so much. And my website is circlegrace1.byregion, BYREGION.net. That's the people that host my Circle of Grace 1 website. You can go there and read all the blogs. You can listen to some audio files, some short video files, and just enjoy yourself. All right. Thank you so much. I love you dearly. My grace is your grace. And again, remember that divine grace is a blessing as we're alive and well in the age of remembrance. See you here next week, 5 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Pacific, and 7 p.m. Eastern. Take care now. Thank you so much.